Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I post new videos every Sunday in which we do make what you see in the shops, which means we're going to recreate a garment that we saw in the shops and we make that from the pattern to the end result. So every week you have a new garment in your closet. So if you like that, please consider subscribing to my channel. In this week's video, this will be a special one, and it means that I show you in depth a special technique, and it makes that when I do something in a video that you don't really understand immediately, you can look back in a special for more information, and I can refer to that special so that I don't have to repeat myself over and over again during the videos. So in this week's video, I'm going to show you how to make an insert pocket, and that is the pocket that you usually see in more stylish garments. So now for the pocket, you will cut a rectangle that has the height of how high you want your pocket to be. And usually I'll just watch how high I have my pocket insert and I make it about a few centimeters deeper. So I made the depth of my pocket like this. Here ends the insert, so my pocket is to here. If you want rather big pockets, you can make it till there. It doesn't really matter. And then you fold that rectangle double. And then what you do is first you trace the side of your normal side seam. So this is your normal side seam. We just traced our new pattern with this folded in because you don't need this piece for your outer fabric. You will need it for the pocket. So what you do is on the bottom of your pocket, so you have a bottom and a top. For the bottom you will trace this side seam, so you put your side seam to that line and then you trace the outside of that pocket insert and also trace your top line of your pants. So that's the base. Then you don't need that anymore, then you fold it double and then you need your new pattern without the insert, where you put the insert off. You put that on the other part when you have folded it double. Again, align it to your side seam and then trace on the top part of your rectangle your new insert and also the top of your pattern. Then you take that out and then you cut off these pieces. So you cut off this part for the insert of the top of the pocket. I'm really struggling with this paper because it keeps on curling up on me and it's very annoying. And I already tried to roll it the other way, but it doesn't want it. Cut off your top parts and then cut your side seam. Like that. And then what you have, this pocket comes underneath your front pattern like this, and that means that this part of the front pattern is aligned with the top part of your pocket. So later on we're gonna sew them together. It is aligned with your side seam, and then here you have your insert. You see, because this is sticking out. And then you have a really nice insert pocket, very simple to do. And what I usually do, and certainly now for this faux leather pants, is I don't make this totally out of my outer fabric. When you're making a pants that has a rather heavy outer fabric, I normally just make this out of a lining fabric, or especially a thinner fabric. It doesn't have to be a lining. And then what you do is you sew on top of that when you mark where your insert ends, because you don't want to see on the outside that you have another fabric there. Usually I take a piece of my outer fabric and I sew that here on top of this, so when it's closed up you don't see your lining. And also here on the other side you sew a piece of fabric. I cannot draw that. It should be, of course, a straight line. Something like this. Here you put a piece of fabric and then you only have your thick fabric here on the outside in the insert, and the rest is just thinner fabric. and that is a very nice way to make your inside pocket, that you don't have too much bulk on your pocket side. So we're gonna cut this out of fabric. And then for the pockets, I cut out this whole piece of the pattern out of lining fabric, and I cut out of my faux leather those parts that I stripe now. I draw them on before, but now I stripe them, and you see what part you need to cut out of your leather, and it's this part and this part here. And make sure that the inside corners are really nice and neat, because we're gonna not finish it. We're gonna sew it just onto our lining, but you will not finish it. So make sure it's a nice and crisp line. And to see how it will look then, is this will be folded double, and it will be underneath your pattern. And then it will be like this. You have your insert here of faux leather. On the top I have to hold it because it's not sewn on, like this. And you have your insert here where your hand goes in, also of faux leather. So it looks really nice when you sew it on. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew these pieces just on top of our lining, and then we're going to sew them on top of our pattern. So for the pockets, what we're going to do is we're going to put our faux leather pieces onto our facing. And it means, of course, you cannot pin, so take your clips or take some tape or whatever you think is handy and clip them on. And what you do is you're gonna sew them onto your lining, and you do that by making a zigzag stitch here on this side and a zigzag stitch on the other part, on this one. And then you have these pieces together, and then you can just sew the seams when you have to sew them, but then your faux thread is already attached to your lining piece. And now what we do, we're going to make the pockets to the bands or to the front pattern, and it means the pocket will be like this. This is how it will be at the end. Of course, the side seams matching like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put right sides together, this piece on top of that, because when we flip it around, when we sewn this together, then you get this what I just showed you, like that. See, so we're going to put the pockets right sides together on the edge, and then we're going to sew this seam, and that is the insert seam. So because we have faux leather, we're going to clip it down. If you can use pins where you're working with fabric, you can just do it with pins, of course. And then you're going to sew that seam, flip it over to the right side, and when you're working with fabric, you can stitch that down, top stitch it. But because we have leather, you can do it, but you don't have to. Then you've sewn your pocket on. What you do is you flip that part under, and it's most easy to do it from the wrong side, because then you can see how it looks. And you clip or pin, if you have normal fabric, the pieces together. So all the side seam pieces, you take them together, the pocket pieces nicely aligned. Also on top, make sure that this is all right. This must be flat, of course, and this must fold under. And when you've clipped it down here, this automatically falls in the right way, and you can check it by looking at the right side how it looks. And you see, you have your nice insert here. You don't see any lining, just the fabric like it should be. And what you do first is you're going to first now sew your pocket closed, so it's only this part because this is the fold. And then you can put your back pattern on top of it, the side seam of that. And you can just sew your side seam, and then your whole pocket is done. And you have a really nice insert pocket with no problem at all.